Hi guys, welcome back to Rewrite with Allie. Today it's just gonna be me. I want to do an episode telling a story of someone close to my heart and how he rewrote his life. So this person that I'm gonna talk about, his testimony and his story, is my brother. My brother has been through it, to say the least. It all started, things from his life have been being rewritten since he was like 4. I want to talk about my brother's story because he truly is someone who is alive that shouldn't be alive, if I'm being honest. My brother shouldn't be alive right now. He has seen things that he should have never seen. He has experienced things that no one should have ever have to go through. But my brother right now is 25, I believe. Moy, if you're not 25, I apologize. We've always been super close growing up, and watching him face the trials that he faced was really hard on my entire family, and I thought I was going to lose my brother. I would mentally prepare myself to get a phone call that my brother is dead on the side of the road, if that gives you an idea of what was going on. But okay, let's start from high school. My brother was in juvenile detention for about less than a year, and then he transferred to a group home to finish high school. And while he was in this group home, he was a football player for a high school that was like 30 minutes away from us, from where me and my family had been living at the time. Okay, so we're here living all together as a family. My brother's in this group home that's like 30 minutes away, all right? And he's going to this other high school, different high school than me, obviously. So he meets this girl at his new high school. They have a great relationship from what I know. Okay, this is the perspective of his sister. From what I know, they have an amazing relationship. They find out that they are pregnant, and we are all super excited. We can't wait. My mom was excited. He was excited. She was excited. It was scary because they were seniors in high school, but everyone was excited. Things happen. You know, babies are always a blessing. Come to find out, we got the news that she miscarried, and their relationship kind of crumbled after that. I think they both didn't really know how to cope with it, and they ended up going their separate ways. I can't remember if they broke up while he was in football or not, but while he was in football, he hurt his wrist, and he still played on his wrist, all this stuff. So I know football has a part of it. This relationship, like what happened in it, has a part of where he ends up going. But anyways, so he's facing these trials in high school as a senior, and then he starts hanging out with this group of people once he graduated, and one of these girls ended up being his girlfriend. We'll call her Sally. So Sally and Moy, my brother's name is Moises. Sally and Moy start hanging out, and we start noticing that he's acting up. He's being super aggressive. He's lying pathologically. Things start going missing around the house, and we start smelling this smell that it smells like burnt metal. It smells like burnt popcorn, okay? This disgusting smell that now if I smell it, I immediately know what it is, and my body will have a physical reaction to it because I get so triggered by it. But the smell ended up being fentanyl. And so him and his ex were dabbling in fentanyl, which is super dangerous. You need a pinpoint amount to overdose on this if you're not careful. You can overdose by inhaling it. You can overdose by it seeping into your skin. Anyways, we find out that he's on fentanyl, and my mom's going through this battle of what do I do with him. She has 5 kids, okay? In one house, Sally was moved in. We have my mom, we have the 5 kids, and Sally. And Sally and him are in and out of the house. my clothes goes missing, my things are being sold. I mean, things all around the house are going missing. I can't even remember. There was like, oh, my mom's jewelry went missing, my brother's Xbox, like anything that had some sort of value in that house went missing. My Cricut went missing. This is a crazy side tangent, but one time my brother was helping me look in my car for my debit card. I was giving him a ride to work, kind of. I was taking him to someone's house who was going to give him a ride to work, so I was helping with that, you know. Anyways, and I can't find my debit card. We're in the car. No, I drop him off. I'm leaving towards another city, and then I realize that my debit card isn't where it was before. And so I call him up. I'm like, hey, did you see my debit card when you were in my car? He's like, no, but you can come back and look for it. In my head, obviously, what do I think? My brother my brother stole my debit card. So sure enough, I go back. I make him help me look for my debit card. And we're there looking through the seats, you know, going through my purse. I'm trying to think where it could be. So then I end up leaving. You know what? This freaker person, I really wanted to say Fucker, had my debit card the whole flipping time. And he helped me look for it. And that's what drugs do to you. You become someone who you're not. When he was on drugs, he wasn't my brother. I had no idea who he was. Off and on drugs was a totally, completely different person. When he was on drugs, we didn't have a relationship. When he was off drugs, that was my brother, you know? Can't even tell you how many times he relapsed. He went to rehab like two times, I think. Eventually, he ended up getting locked up for theft. And I remember there was like this whole article really pissed me off that the cops had written. And I don't think that people understand the effect that it has on the family. Okay, you read these articles that the police department can write as like a comical thing for entertainment, talking about a crime that happened. But imagine the mother reading that article. I know my brother shouldn't have done what he did. He shouldn't have stole money and stole the things that he stole. But like, where's the empathy? And I can say this, I'm biased, but I guess you don't understand until you're in that position, you know, or in that situation. Anyways, I just remember going through those comments on Facebook and being like, what the freak is my life? What is my brother doing? Like, how is he choosing this drug over his family, choosing it over his life? Every day that he took those drugs, he was killing himself. And I would tell him, I'm like, you want to commit suicide? Okay, do it. But don't keep the suffering. Don't continue the suffering. And that's what I would say. I'm not proud that I said that to him, but one time I did say, you're killing yourself. Like, if you want to kill yourself, do it. But why are you making us all suffer through this? Finally, him and Sally separated after too long. They were together for way too long. But they were both addicts and they were enabling each other. My mom gave her a place to stay, because it got to the point where my mom had to choose her other kids over her son that was drugged up all the time and bringing drugs home, smoking in the bathroom, spending like 45 minutes in the bathroom with the fan on, and it reeks of fentanyl. Like, it was just not okay. I had gone to college for a little bit, but felt so guilty because I knew that my little sister and other siblings were living in that house, and my mom. But I'm like, Mom, you are allowing this to happen. Why don't you kick him out? But I also can see from her perspective of, if she kicks him out, what happens if he overdoses on the side of the street and he's dead? Now she's going to feel guilty. She's going to feel like as if there was something more she could have done. But there comes a point where you have to let go of that and say, I am actually loving you by letting you go and figure it out yourself. You know, it got to that point where my brother wasn't gonna stop unless he hit rock bottom. And Lord knows, he went to HELL with this, like all the way down. He hit rock bottom and kept on going down. I don't know how that happens, but it did. One time he had to go to the doctor because he was can't remember. I think my grandma brought him. He was like overdosing. But I remember looking at his like just him laying there on our couch, and he looked lifeless. When he was high, and I would have conversations with him, you can tell in their eyes they look lifeless. There's nothing behind the eyes, and you can tell by their skin, by I don't know. You can tell it wasn't my brother. It wasn't my brother. And there was this other time where he got caught. He broke into my mom's ex-boyfriend's house and stole stuff. He had canines looking for him at the house. He got into like our attic one time to hide from the cops. He did a hit and run because he was high and fell asleep behind the wheel. Just like insane. Okay, he was homeless for a while. Went into an Oxford house. Gosh, so much. He would send messages to people that we knew around town and ask for money, which I know he's not proud of, very embarrassed. But when you're on these drugs, you're gonna get your fix no matter what. If you don't even have a penny to your name, you're going to get figured out. You're gonna owe people. If you can get fentanyl, you're gonna owe them. That's fine. I mean, it got to a point where random people would drive by the house and I would take pictures of their license plate. Or I would go outside and tell them, F off, never come to this house again. I ended up moving to my uncle's house because I felt unsafe in that home. And Lord bless my uncle in that household. And having that as a safe haven. I know my mom did everything she could, and if you were her, I think a lot of people would do the same. They would keep their sick child, hoping that they would get better. But you know, she did get to that point where she was like, okay, you're on your own, Molly. Like, I can't keep living like this. I can't keep having the other kids around this. But I just want to say a huge thank you to my uncle. He has no idea how much he means to me. I can get emotional. But I'm not going to, okay? I'm not going to, but I'm okay. It's okay. It's okay. But, so anyways, there was so many things that happened during that timeline of when he was on and off drugs. I was the one that picked him up from rehab one time, and the rehab seemed to was really good for him, but I don't think that addicts get the right resources for when they get out of rehab. It's an average of about 7 times of relapsing for an addict, which is insane. It should not take 7 times for you to nearly probably lose your life in overdose, because your tolerance isn't the same after rehab. I was so scared that after rehab, if my brother relapsed, he would try to do the same amount of fentanyl as he did before and overdose. Like, it was at that point where me, my mom, all of us were ready. We thought we were gonna lose my brother. Finally, he got into an Oxford house after being locked up, I believe. Yeah, because when he was locked up, I remember I was reaching out to my pastor, one of the pastors at my church who owned Oxford houses or helped run them, and I tried to get him into one of those. He ended up getting into a different one. I had invited him to church, and I was like, I can pick you up from the Oxford house. No, can you pick me up from this house? Sent me an address. I freaked out. Whose address is this? It was a girl, and I'm like, great. He is gonna go downhill again. He's messing around with this girl. I was so pissed off, and come to find out, he was about to move in with her. I was trying to get my mom to tell him stuff, trying to get everyone around to tell him stuff. If you relapse again, I was just so tired at that point. I have given him everything that I could, provided him with as much resources as I could. And hold on, I want to backtrack a little bit. When he first got on fentanyl, one pill was $20. He would always ask for $20, say, oh, I need for gas, oh, I need for food. Okay, let me go take you to get food. no, can you just give me the $20? No. But because one pill cost $20, and then towards like the end of his fentanyl addiction, he still, when you're an addict, you're never not an addict. So towards the end of when he was struggling, you could buy a prescription bottle for about $5 of pills. That goes to show how much fentanyl is being mass produced, and they're adding all this weird, they're lacing it with so many different things. It's insane, and it's so sad how many people are hooked on it. And the epidemic is, it's horrible. I carry Narcan. I'm gonna add a link to where you can order Narcan if you're in Washington State for free. In any state, if you can get a hold of Narcan, keep it in your bag or in your car, like, please do it. It's not worth losing a life. By carrying that Narcan, you might see someone on the side of the road and you might save their life by carrying that Narcan. He meets this girl, he's staying with this girl, living with this girl, and gets kicked out of the Oxford house. They have curfew, you have chores you have to do, and he wasn't meeting those criteria because he was with this girl. Well, it ends up working out with this girl. She has a son. And when I hear that, I'm like, what the? You know, as a sister to someone that has been through, putting us all through the ringer, what are you doing, dude? You're not in any state to take care of a child, to be with a woman. But thank the good Lord that it ended up working out. And he got healthy. He hasn't touched fentanyl since. He is making all of his wrongs right. He's been doing that. He's now engaged to this lady who's helped keep him clean and helped support him through his journey. And I'm so grateful for her for that. I think my whole family is very grateful for that she stuck by his side through everything, because I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. I wouldn't do it. If I had a partner, I think it would be so hard for me. I'm not happy that I'm saying this, but it's true. I'm just being honest. So they've been together for a while now. I mean, long enough to be engaged, and they're about to get married this or next month. He has a kid, which I'm so happy for him. He adopted her son because for the longest time, he was so fearful that he wasn't going to be able to have kids because fentanyl affects your fertility. And so, yeah, I'm just so proud of him. Like, it's so rare for someone who has struggled with fentanyl to fully recover. Hold on, I'm gonna look up. What are the statistics of someone who recovers from a fentanyl addiction? Some addiction specialists estimate that approximately 50% of individuals with fentanyl addiction who engage in professional treatment and long-term support achieve sustained recovery. 80% of people relapse within the first month after detox alone. Fentanyl statistics in the US. Fentanyl is a potent synthetic opioid. I didn't even say what it was, but that's what it is. It's so prevalent, it's hard to find someone who doesn't. Like, who doesn't know what fentanyl is? But anyways. Illicit fentanyl, which can be lethal even in small doses, is commonly added to other drugs such as heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamine because of its potency and cheaper cost, making these fentanyl-laced substances extremely dangerous to the individual who takes them, potentially unknowingly. It's so dangerous. Even weed is getting laced. More than 150 individuals die every day from overdoses related to synthetic opioids like fentanyl. 150 individuals. This is the US thing. In 2022, the US Drug Enforcement Administration seized more than 57.9 million fentanyl-laced pills. 57.9 million laced pills. More than 13,400 pounds of fentanyl powder. 539,000 individuals aged 12 or older misused prescription fentanyl in 2021. Misused. Nearly 21% of individuals. Fentanyl-related ER visits accounted for 122,884 of drug-related emergencies. Since 2017, fentanyl trafficking offenses have increased 950%. Okay, that's insane. Beyond grateful that my brother was able to overcome that, because we genuinely thought that we were going to lose him. And I'm just so proud of him and so happy for their family. He's getting married, we're gonna party. Anyone in the world can find something to be depressed about, to use their traumas as a way to become a victim. But it's like, no, you turn your mess into your message and your pain into your purpose. And he was able to come out of that. And I'm very proud of him. I'm a very proud sister. And it's also really hard when you live in a small town, because now everyone perceives you a certain way. Or he would drive my car when I lived in Seattle, and the cops knew that car, obviously, because he was always getting into some kind of trouble. And then when I took over the car again, when I came back, the cops see the car and they're like, oh, let me just follow you for a while. I'll pull you over because we think you're your brother. It's not fun. When you live in a small town, everyone gets this opinion of you, and, you know, I don't know. I'm just so proud of him. People had so much to say, and he was able to, it's not easy to brush it off. It obviously bothered him during the time, but now he's overcome all of that and has definitely turned his life upside down and rewrote his story and flipped the script. I'm just so proud of him. And despite everything that happened, or everything that he did towards us, and I've said some freaking ruthless things towards him when he was high. Ugh. I just got a bill, my car bill. And we are back. Sorry, I got a phone call. I remember when I would be in my room just praying, crying, and asking God to heal my brother and to go in there and heal traumas. Remind him that he only needs you. He needs to be reminded that you choose, that God chooses him, and that's all that matters, and he can find strength through Christ. I remember being I can recall those nights where I was on my knees, crying in the shower, crying. No one wants to lose their sibling. And if you've experienced a loved one who's gone through addiction, it's one of the worst things in the world. I'm someone who wants to be able to control everything, and Lord tested me with this one. I was truly tested. I'm also so thankful for what my family has learned from this experience. We have been more vulnerable with each other. We've been able to talk more about our feelings. It brought us closer than we could have ever imagined. Not even my family within the household, but even cousins and uncles and aunts. I don't know. I think it's something that definitely the bad, what was meant for evil was turned to good. I want you to understand that the way to speak to someone who's struggling with addiction is with love, and just let them know that you support them, because at the end of the day, regardless of what you say, they will only choose to be clean when they decide to be clean, or when they feel like it has been enough, when they have gone through enough or hit the rock bottom themselves to make that switch. He's going to get filmed with me one of these days. I'm going to be able to interview him about this experience, which I'm super excited about, because now you know my perspective and you'll get to see his perspective. So I just can't thank the Lord enough for having my brother back. I got my brother back. There's hope. Persevere, persevere, persevere. Let them know that you're there for them. Anyways, I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Rewrite with Ali. I'll catch you next time.